Hey everyone, you're with Tesla Tom, and thanks so much for joining me today on my YouTube channel where I discuss Tesla, electric vehicles, and renewable energy. If this is your first time to my channel, then hello and welcome. Take a moment to hit that red subscribe button. That way you stay informed of any new content, and it also helps my channel to grow as well. Today we're going to review my brand new Generation 3 Tesla wall connector here in my garage. We're going to do that and much more right after this. Hey everyone, welcome back to my garage, and as I said earlier, we're here to review our Generation 3 Tesla wall connector here for our Tesla Model 3 here in Sydney, Australia. A big shout out to Isaac from LME Electrical for doing such a neat and tidy install for my garage. As you can see here, we've got the Generation 3 wall charger right there, and also the isolator switch as well. This is all very neat and tidy next to my Tesla Powerwall 2. Alright, so this is the box that the Generation 3 wall connector comes in. I was going to do an unboxing video, but the front of the box doesn't look great. It came delivered from Tesla with a whole bunch of stickers on there, so I peeled them off and it's not in great shape. But otherwise, the box itself is pretty compact and not much bigger than the kit itself with the wall connector and the tubing and the wiring. As you can see, nice Tesla badging on all sides there. Tesla wall connector, and on the back it says wall connector made on Earth by humans. So pretty small, and I guess makes it easier for Tesla to ship these out to their consumers. So the Generation 3 charger itself looks and feels quite nice compared to the Generation 2 charger. There is an acrylic face on the front of the charger, giving it a shiny look. The charger itself is slimmer compared to Generation 2, and there is a holder as well on the side, like Generation 2, where you can put your charger. You can hook it into the cradle like that if you so wish, and it sits quite nicely like that. And now Tesla are saying that you don't need an electrician to replace a faulty Generation 3 wall charger. It's written there in the manual. You can order a replacement, and it's easy enough to take off yourself. There are 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if there is a fault with your Generation 3, you can just replace it yourself, which is quite handy. Now, one of the main benefits of the Generation 3 wall charger is that you can access the back-end firmware using Wi-Fi. And to do that, the instructions have a little QR code on the front there, as you can see. So all you need to do is grab your phone and take a photo of that QR code. And then from there, it says join Tesla wall connector, which I will do. There you go, showing that, join Wi-Fi network. Okay, so we'll do that. You should see something like that. It says Tesla wall connector, like so. And then you go to your browser. I'll use Safari. And then you type in 192.168.92.1. And that is what comes up, the backend firmware like that. So it gives you your part number, serial number, and then the installation stats, which are in real time, which is pretty cool. The voltage coming in, as well as other alerts that you might have. And then it says Wi-Fi, so you can connect to your home Wi-Fi, which is pretty cool. Right, so I've got Orbi 17, which is my Wi-Fi network, and it gives you the signal strength, connected to internet, connected to Tesla, the address, subnet, DNS, all those kind of things. Let's go back. And then you can actually update the software as well. So currently the software is up to date. I did check for updates when I first installed the Gen 3 charger. And a bit later on, I'll give you some insight as to what features I would like to see in the future for the Gen 3 wall charger. And then the installation stats as well. So it says here, these settings are based on the connection inside the electrical panel at this installation. They should only be changed by qualified personnel. So make sure you go through these with your electrician at the time of installation. Obviously country, I have it on Australia. And then max output current, please enter an integer value between 6 and 32. So in the past with Generation 2, you can only set the amperage at discrete levels, but now with Generation 3, with the back-end input, you can actually increase the amperage by increments of 1, which is very handy. And this ground monitor interrupted thing, I've got it on enabled. I'll read this out to you. Ground connection will be monitored and a high detected ground resistance will disable the wall connector. This is the preferred setting to provide protection and should be selected where the ground connection is expected to be strong, as is the case on TN networks and the most TT networks, and where required by code. So leave it on enabled. And the last thing, which is really handy for cars that aren't Tesla, and I think this is why Tesla have done this, so to open the market to all EVs, it says access controls allowed vehicles for charging all vehicles. So you can actually set whether you want the charger to only charge Tesla vehicles or all vehicles. And I think that is super handy. Sorry, I'll just press that again. See, all vehicles or only Tesla. So that makes it quite easy to change the charger to only Teslas or all vehicles. So I'm going to open the garden wall and have it for all vehicles because I love all electric vehicles. So let's press save, and that is basically all the settings currently you can play with at the back end via Wi-Fi. Now, I was actually half expecting the Gen 3 charger to show up on the Tesla app, but unfortunately at this stage, that's basically all you can do. That back-end UI I just showed you via Wi-Fi. You can't actually do anything else via the Tesla app itself. I was hoping that you could maybe set the times you want to use the charger. For example, if you've got off-peak times from like midnight to 4 or 6 a.m. or whatever, you can set that via the app. And hopefully in the future, we will see more settings in the Tesla app itself. And leave a comment below if there's a setting you'd like to see in the Tesla app for the Gen 3 charger. Okay, so let's talk about some of the differences between the Gen 2 and the Gen 3 charger in terms of its physical properties. So here's the Gen 2 charger I'm holding there. And by the way, this is still wrapped because this is pretty much brand new. It came free with our Tesla Model 3. Up to this point, I've only ever had a Generation 1 charger. So my plan is to actually install this Generation 2 charger on the other side of my garage for the 3, while this one stays here for my S, and that's why it's still shrink wrapped. Okay, so side-by-side comparison of the 2 and the 3. The 2 is a little bit longer than the 3, and in terms of its width, it's a little bit thicker as well. And as I said before, the 2 is a grey facade, whereas the 3 is more of a whitish facade with that acrylic front covering the front plate. The cable is also different. Let me just bring the two of them up close to you. These are the differences in the plugs, as you can see there. So this is Generation 3. Let's hold it better for you. And that's Generation 2 underneath, like that. If you can see that, guys. So the 3 plug is a little bit smaller now, both in length and in width. It's about the same, obviously, like that. So that's the 3 there, that's the 2. The 2's got this little collar around the edge of the plug, whereas the 3 is pretty much just a bit more low profile, like that. There. In terms of how the button feels, so that's the 2 button, and then the 3 button. So they both feel pretty similar to touch, like that. In terms of the cabling, the 3 cable is ever so slightly narrower in diameter. So there you go, that's the 3 here, that's 3, and this is 2. So 3 is a bit thinner. There's quite a bit of packaged memory to the 3, so I find that wrapping the 3, you've pretty much got to follow what came out of the box to get that really nice, neat wrap. Let me show you what I mean. So you pretty much just got to follow the package memory. So it wants to go that way. So it still wants to go this way. Pick that up. I just sort of let it run its own way. So it looks nice. So it wants to go there. And then it wants to go here. And you get that nice wrap that sits there. You can have the plug lying like that, or you can, like I said earlier, plug it into the side cradle like so. So another major benefit of the Tesla Generation 3 wall charger is that it allows load sharing management. So for example, if you've got a few of these in an apartment complex, or even in a shopping center, or even in your home, if you've got several electric vehicles, you can actually get 2 or 3 or even more of these, and they all talk to each other via Wi-Fi and help manage the load so that they basically don't trip the complex or your house. So I've only got 1 of these, so I can't test that function, but if there comes a time when I buy an electric vehicle, whether it be Tesla or otherwise, that allows me to charge more than 11 kilowatts, then this is where 2 of these will come in handy, because then if you've got 2 cars charging at, say for example, 22 kilowatts, and if you've got other things running in the house, other 3-phase appliances, then it might be useful to have this to manage the load so it doesn't basically trip your house every single time. Unfortunately, you need 2 or more of these Generation 3 chargers. I checked with the electrician who checked with Tesla. At this stage, at this time in July 2021, the Generation 3 does not talk to Generation 2 or below. So that's something to keep in mind, guys, moving forward. And of course, as you'd expect, the plug communicates with the car with the button. So to open the charger of the car, press the button there. Okay, so I'm about to plug into the car. I want you to watch 2 things: the indicator light from the car there, and also the lights from the charger just behind us there on the wall. So here we go, I'm going to plug in. You should see both of them going blue. See that? And when it's ready to go, there's a click from behind where the charger is. Now it's flashing green. There's also a green light there that's flashing. It's up on the wall there. The light, status light, is going green. So as you can see, I've got the cable snaked under the car on the far side of the garage, on the opposite wall to the Gen 3 wall connector. 7.3 meters is plenty of length for a double garage. And at the moment, a 7.3 wall connector Gen 3 is going to cost $780 here in Australia. You can order from the Tesla website directly. Okay, so we're in the car now, and it's charging currently at 7 kilowatts, 32 amps to 20 volts. Currently it's only at single phase, but the plan is to upgrade this to 3-phase eventually in a couple of weeks. When Isaac from LME Electrical comes back, he's going to install a 3-phase connection for me to both cars. So it should go up to 11 kilowatts, and that's also to future-proof any vehicles I might buy in the future that can go up to the full 22 kilowatt AC charging. Of course, to unplug, very easy. Just hang on to the button here on the plug. It'll go blue, and it just comes out very easily. And this is what it looks like when it's plugged in, but it's finished charging. See that blue light? That steady blue light indicates that your car is done. Alright guys, well that is my review of the Generation 3 Tesla wall connector here in Sydney, Australia, charging our Tesla Model 3 and Model S. As you can see, it's got that Wi-Fi connection to allow you to change the settings on the back end of the firmware. It's got quite a long cable, a 7.3 meter cable to connect to your car on the other side of the garage, if so needed, if you've just got the one connector and you can only access from one side of the garage, for example. Hopefully we see some other features. It'll turn up on the Tesla app, hopefully, with some nice features like, for example, setting what time of day you want to charge the car if you're on off-peak tariff for electricity plan. Hopefully it will also connect to things like your Tesla Powerwall 2 or your solar panels and fit in that environment where it might take advantage of good solar production from your panels, or if you've got excess battery storage, you want to use it for your car, things like that. Hopefully that's more configurable moving forward with the Generation 3 charger. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. And of course, subscribe if you've not done so already yet. And what other features would you like to see moving forward with the Generation 3 charger as it integrates with the Tesla and renewable environment for household usage? Guys, stay safe. Until the next video, happy charging.